we weren't loved unconditionally. We didn't have that safety to be curious about who we are and discover ourselves. That just because of the religion, it doesn't allow for that.
Hello and welcome back, friends and fiends. I'm Dan.
I'm Can.
And this is the Dan and Can podcast, a Thanksgiving spectacular. And in case you couldn't tell, some shit's gone down at dinner today.
I see.
The potatoes are turned over. There's one piece missing from one pie. Half of another pie is eaten. Carrots, green beans.
And for those who are just listening and not seeing the video, he has a stretched out background of a turkey dinner. It's not ours.
If I stretch out the background, it makes me look thinner.
The turkey looks very elongated and flat. It's kind of gross looking. There's a nasty. What is that? Baked beans? Do people serve that on Thanksgiving?
Where?
Behind you. What
Corn.
is that? It looks like baked beans. Right, because it's all stretched out.
Oh my goodness. You need some work if you think that looks like it. Anyways, it's Thanksgiving week. You guys are probably in your kitchens today getting ready. Hopefully your turkey's thawed and you're going. Otherwise, you're in a deep panic and you're going to be cooking a frozen turkey. And all the children are home helping you cook. It's a great, great day. Wonderful time.
And if you're not celebrating, that's okay too.
We're going to get into that festive mood of things that may be happening as you listen to this today, tomorrow, this weekend. But before we do that, let's get to know us a little better. What do you say, Candi?
Sure.
All right. Get to know you today. What is your favorite dish at Thanksgiving? What do you look forward to the most and hope someone brings?
Okay, well,
or insist that I make we have at the feast.
Mine's going to be so basic because you know how much I like hash browns and potatoes. So it'd be mashed potatoes. It's basic, but that's what I like. I like the potatoes.
A good garlic, salty, buttery, creamy mashed potato.
Mm-hmm. I'd even eat a baked potato.
Don't even need gravy on it. It's so good and creamy.
No, you don't need gravy. Yeah, it's just good.
Yeah.
It's good with turkey. Yeah.
Yeah. As long as I don't make a full 10-pound bag and try to mix it together and have the lumps in it, it turns out all right.
But I still eat it and have.
Our biggest food critics in the world might be our children.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You do one little thing wrong and they'll point it out.
I feel like one of them could be a foodie, probably, with their taste buds. No. Though, could she be? Maybe. I feel like Reese with her taste buds sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
She could, she's just she could taste like actually the oldest is kind of like that too. They got a lot more sensitive taste buds than, I grew up, my mom would pull out a pack of grayish looking hamburger and be like, it's fine. If she ever cooked, because she didn't cook very often, but
it's fine. You'll like it.
And you ate it, even if it tasted off. You just ate it.
It wasn't too long ago. You're watching me make my sauce for spaghetti, and I hadn't stirred in the seasonings yet. I just had them laying on top. But add them on. You're like, you put that much in there? I was like, yeah, I do. Get some flavor going in there. A little basil, a little oregano, garlic.
Okay.
And then you're like, why are you adding so much salt? I was like, that's a flavor enhancer. That's something you learned too this summer.
I did learn that.
Yeah. So I like.
And I actually add it to my oatmeal, a very slight amount of salt.
It pops flavor. It's not just
I don't know if it makes it taste better. To be honest, I have no idea if it's making it taste better.
It'll highlight the flavor. Some people say if you take a little dash of that in chocolate milk, it really brightens it up.
I think people even do a little bit in their coffee sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
So,
really need that much salt, but I know your body does need it. You don't want to overdo it for sure, because salt is also not sodium.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like
sodium
it's
can
not.
be toxic. Yeah. But
Yeah.
any hizzle, I think mine, because I like a lot of stuff at Thanksgiving. I don't know if I can pick just one. Because I'll load up a plate of goods and all that. So
Do you like the cranberry sauce?
I do like cranberry sauce.
I like it if it's the little things and not that
Yeah,
jelly
yeah,
stuff. I don't like that.
you have the berries in it actually.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, I like
that's
that.
good. So yeah, I like that. I like the potatoes. I like the
Stuffing.
turkey. I like my turkey.
What is that supposed to mean? I've made a turkey before. Did you not
You
like
made a
it?
good turkey.
Okay. I probably followed your dad's instructions actually, because he's the one that
And
taught me how to make a turkey.
Beth taught you how to. That was her recipe.
No, your
Because
dad taught me.
you made the drunken turkey, right? With the bottle of
Huh.
wine and all that. That was her
I don't remember.
recipe.
I did what your dad taught me.
Oh, his gets to be a little dry, but I like to brine mine, so I get the extra saltiness.
Oh, I think I did brine it. Yeah.
So
I think I did brine it before, actually.
Yeah. You remember that one year I brined it and I had it in the cooler? I told Cal, okay, go empty the cooler out, dump out the brine out. I was just having him dump it outside in the driveway or whatever, because it's just water and salt. And he grabbed the cooler and went to lift it by the handle, and the whole thing spilt all over the kitchen floor. There's like 5 gallons of
salty water.
Salty turkey water on the floor.
And who probably cleaned that up? This person, right?
We all threw towels down and were helping, and then you were like,
I
not
know,
good enough. There's some underneath this.
It's not because it wasn't not good enough. It probably would have left a stickiness. You know, you don't appreciate all the work that goes into cleaning. You really don't.
I do appreciate it.
No, you don't. You're not thankful. This is a Thanksgiving podcast. You need to be more thankful.
Oh, wow. Taking heat right off the bat. So, yeah, I like it all. I like the desserts.
What are your favorite desserts? Pumpkin pie? That's kind of boring.
Pumpkin pie. It's kind of.
I could do without pumpkin pie.
All right. You know, it's not.
It's overrated.
Favorite. But usually the kids have me make something that's a little better. You know, like a pumpkin spice cheesecake. I'll make one of them every now and then. That's usually pretty good.
You could do we could make them in little bites size. So
they dry out too easily though when they're that small.
Okay. Or just make smaller ones, because a lot of people in our family do not like cheesecake.
Me and you like it, so we can have it for weeks on end.
No, we don't need to have cheesecake every day. Okay?
I'll probably end up making an apple pie and a pumpkin cheesecake.
Apple pie can be good, like a Dutch apple pie, where they're little crumbs on the top. Is that what that one is?
Yeah, the kids seem to like apple pies, but I'll have a bunch of pies to make.
Oh, for your friends.
As you guys are listening to this, I'm probably baking 10, 15 different pies. So
I am avoiding the kitchen.
Yeah, you need to.
When he starts doing his whole cooking fest, I'm out. I don't want to be in the kitchen. It's messy.
Well, I don't like it. That.
I got to get out of there.
All these dishes come out because I'll get my little yellow sheet out.
It does look nice when you're done, but there's a lot of cleanup.
I'll time it out so turkey's done at this time, and this has to go in the oven.
Yes, you're very good at that, and I appreciate it. I am thankful for all the work that goes into the cooking and the timing of it, and I appreciate that you do that.
Yeah. You're welcome. Thank you. Thanksgiving episode.
Okay. Yep. You see this, folks? You see how he gets praised? This is a conversation we had earlier today. You're going to get to know us a little bit behind the scenes. Get your arm off. This is the conversation that we've had, because there is a lot of, and I'm going to bring it up, a lot of invisible labor that goes on that nobody notices. And I'm not saying that it needs to be noticed. Well, I am saying that. Partly because, okay, listen, I know that guys sometimes, and I'm putting this on guys, but this is a generalization, because a lot of times the women do the cleaning. A lot of times they do all the cooking, the cleaning. I've done that, but I don't do all the cooking. Hardly ever do I cook. You do most of the cooking. The cleanup is so it goes without, people just the only time something gets said is if I don't do something, then it gets noticed. But I do it, and like you get a thank you almost every night for cooking a meal. You get a thank you for mowing the lawn because all this is noticeable. You get a thank you for like genuine appreciation, not a fake thank you, but genuine appreciation. You do the oil changes, you take care of the cars, you check the tires on my car, you fill the gas. There's a genuine appreciation. And at work, you get genuine appreciation sometimes, either by money, you get paid for it, right? Or, someone saying, I love how this place looks. You keep it, at your facilities. And here's somebody, and I'm talking for the women and the men and whoever, does all the work that's cleaning. Cleaning just doesn't get the appreciation that it deserves. Like it takes me a good portion of every day to keep the house tidy. And nobody notices. And that after a while, when you start to think about it, and people don't like pick up after themselves sometimes, that gets frustrating on a mom or a woman or a man, whoever's doing it. I'm talking from my perspective. And like how I know this could fit into this podcast because it's about appreciation, about Thanksgiving. I don't want to become resentful but that can happen. And that has happened to me in the past. And it happens to a lot of women because they're doing so much work, not just the cleanup, but there's an emotional thing. And people think they're just doing it for themselves. Partly it is. I am more calm when the house is clean. I do feel better, but you don't realize that you feel better when the house is clean. You're just not noticing it because it stays clean. Are you following me?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. You're staring at me like, get this over with. Because it's not on my agenda to talk about.
No. I mean, we could talk about it.
We need to talk about it. So why not just talk about it here? Because it's a problem that people deal with all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you can let go of your agenda here for a minute and deal with this issue.
I have no agenda. I do appreciate everything you do around here. Do I show it well? Apparently not.
It's not necessarily. It's not. Well, it is about showing like you. We do about an equal share around the house. But what I'm saying is we don't get the appreciation isn't shown equally because what I do is invisible.
Mm.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay. That's what I'm saying. So how do you deal with that? How does a person who's doing all that work, and yes, I like it for some reason, it keeps coming to the surface for me over the past few days. Like, it's like I do all this and I don't know. It's not making me, I'm not resentful or irritable about it yet, but it could lead that direction if I don't process what's going on here.
Honestly, I'm being very tentative here because I don't think you'll like my answer
Then
on how
give me
I
your
deal
answer.
with it.
No.
Because, at my work, I do a lot of stuff people don't know about. They think they know my job.
Yes.
They think they know what goes on, and they think I got all this extra time to be doing their job for them, too, which just isn't the case. And other people can't vouch for me because they don't understand it either. So there's a lot of stuff I do behind the scenes. They don't know the cleaning that I'm doing every day. They don't know the preparation I'm doing every day, all the phone calls that I get taken that I get distracted from.
I agree.
And it never gets seen, never gets acknowledged, it never gets appreciated.
Okay.
My personality is whatever.
Okay, I'm going to disagree that you're not in the same situation. You get paid for that work.
Well, yeah, I get paid for that.
There is nothing that I'm getting for this work other than the satisfaction of a clean home.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand that? Like that's different. You do get money. You would not do that for free. And if you did, you would expect somebody to not necessarily say, it's not like, I think it's going to get misunderstood that I'm saying, oh, I want you to praise me and stuff. It's not that, but doing constant invisible labor. Like if you think about where's the energy exchange? You see what I'm saying? Like it would just be nice I just don't think people notice all, and they don't have to notice it, just showing some sort of appreciation. Like, I just love it. When I wake up in the morning, I mean, it for most of you guys, it feels like a fairy is coming through and cleaning up the house in the morning. And before, when you get home, the house is straightened and cleaned, but you don't see all the times in the, that I'm cleaning in between. And I'm not saying that you don't have that at work, because you do, but you also are compensated in some way.
Mm-hmm.
There is an energy exchange going on.
Mm-hmm.
Are you following me?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't feel like it's the same thing. But
Well,
maybe I could be wrong. I want to deal with this feeling that's going on inside me before it turns into something that I don't want it to turn into.
and maybe it has something to do with your personality, how you're set up, because cleaning is a solitary thing for you for the most part. The only time you really can get in and clean something is when everyone's gone, because when the kids are home, they're actively destroying everything that you cleaned.
Okay, not so much. I agree with that to some
But
extent, but also not so much as they've gotten older. But they make messes as they go
so I
around.
think it gets highlighted because it sounds like you're saying this is a depleting task for you. It takes away from you. You're not getting
No,
compensated to rebuild
it's
him.
not depleting. It's not. That's not it. I don't think you're hearing what I'm saying, and I don't know if we can get it through on the podcast, and maybe some people who are listening would get what I'm saying. It's just I feel like all the work that I do, because it's not flashy, it's not showy. Um, like sometimes people expect, sometimes the kids expect when they text or if they need something from me that mom at drop of a hat, because I work from home. And I have a more flexible schedule, which that's fine. That's part of the reason that I have that too, so that I can go and do the things that the family needs at the times of day when people who are working 9 to 5s can't do that. But it's just I think what it feels like is, let's take, for instance, leaving the roll of toilet paper on the thing. It's just people don't realize, they don't even see the messes that they're making. They don't see them. And then they're gone when they come back. They're just gone. Everything's put away. Everything's wiped down, cleaned up, and they don't think anything of it because it was invisible. They didn't even notice they left a mess. The thing is, nobody's noticing the work. And I'm not saying I want them to be like, oh, mom, you're just so amazing. I would like people to appreciate, who wouldn't want somebody to appreciate that what you contribute?
Okay, so here's the thing. It took me a while to understand this too.
I still don't think you understand it, to be honest.
No, I do, because I'll go in and I'll see the toilet paper roll and I'll throw it away because there'll be one completely empty on it.
Yeah, I hate it when they do that. But
in our house, don't worry, folks. People are still using toilet paper because we have multiple rolls.
There's a stack thing. Yeah.
Okay, so don't question our sanitation around here.
I mean, you wouldn't know looking at this picture behind us that the potatoes just spilled on the table and left, but
so
whatever.
The roll on top is empty and the kids leave it. And I think that's because I try to consciously show appreciation from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not as often as I should. The kids really don't ever. But I don't think they understand it. They don't. It's not comfortable
but isn't
for
that
them.
Our job as parents
It
to
is, and it's trying
them?
to get their personalities to understand it also, because it's uncomfortable for them because their personalities are more of, we're going to be cracking jokes, making fun.
But sometimes that can be a coping mechanism, not to feel things that are uncomfortable.
It could be.
You know what I'm saying?
But they're also immature and don't realize it because it's always been there for them. So our oldest daughter was probably the best at picking up after herself because it was expected from her. And then it kind of progressively got less and less until...
Well, except for Reese. I think Reese does a fair job. I will say she appreciates. She will say things like
she will leave dishes on the counter in the morning.
Okay, she does do that, but if you tell her and point it out to her, she will try to do better. And I'm not saying that the other kids don't. I'm not saying that. Yes, Lane does a great job of picking up after herself and kind of always has. And maybe because we're a little more strict with it.
Even though she refuses to help out anymore because she's a guest.
That kind of is something too. Okay, but saying like you try to show it. I don't know that I'm looking for you to show appreciation, because I know I'm not looking for you to do the work. I mean, obviously throw the toilet paper or roll away. If you see some mess and you clean it up, yeah, I appreciate that. That, like when you make the bed, I appreciate it because I almost always make the bed. And then when you're home, you will do it sometimes. And I appreciate that, or we'll do it together. Um, I think what I'm looking for more than anything, now that you're hearing you, first of all, I think I'm looking for you to say it, not so much like I try to show I want you to say, like, I really appreciate that you do this for us. And then I want you to teach the kids, because if I teach the kids to notice invisible labor, they will think I'm looking to be glorified.
Yeah.
I want them to notice other people. I want them to notice when they go to a restaurant, when the bathrooms are clean, somebody had to clean those. Now, yes, they're getting paid to do that, or when they go in someone's home. Like, don't leave a mess, because somebody has to come along and pick up after you. When you go to somebody else, like a friend's house, pick up after yourself, because somebody is doing that job for you if you don't do it for yourself. Don't be a burden on people that's unnecessary. That's what I want. I want you to say it without me having to prompt you. Like when we'll sit down and I will outright in front of the children, thank you for making dinner for us. I do that because I really do feel that and I'm appreciative. And then a lot of times they will do it. But you'll notice that sometimes without my prompting, they will say it first because they watch what I'm doing and they hear me. You see what I'm saying? I think that's what I'm looking for, because you don't verbally say it, so they don't recognize it. And I think they need to recognize it through your eyes or your example and not mine, because when they hear it from me, because I am the one that does most of the invisible labor, they will think mom just wants praise. But I want them to be the type of people that go out in the world and notice what other people do not notice, notice the labor that people are putting in, notice the time. I want them to be the person that shows up to your work and be like, I recognize how much work you put into this place, how much work it takes to maintain and keep this place. You know, I want to be the person, I want them to be the person that goes to the party and says, you know what? I recognize how much effort it took behind the scenes to put this together. That's what I want. And I think that's what I'm looking for. And it just is now kind of coming to me. That would make me feel good.
Okay.
Wow. This is our conversations ago, guys.
I can
pleasant.
work on that and try to be
I
more
mean, I
vocal
don't,
in
it's
front of
not
the children.
necessary. I do understand what I'm saying and why I'm saying it,
Yeah.
and why that would feel better.
Yeah. So that you get some recognition for what's going on, and that these people then respect others in the world around them.
That's more what it's about. It's not so much me. I want my kids to be naturally noticing. Like they wouldn't have thanked you for dinner if they didn't notice somebody else thanking you for dinner. And then they're like, oh yeah. You see what I'm saying? They had to be shown that. They're not going to do it if and you're the one that's going to have to step up to the plate here, because otherwise it looks like I need the appreciation. And it's not about me needing the appreciation. I keep saying that, but I don't think you're hearing it because you keep repeating that that's what I want. It's not about that. It's about raising kids to adulthood that actually appreciate the invisible labor that goes on, because there is always this invisible labor that people just take for granted. And only when it doesn't get done, then they're going to point it out and complain about it. And you know how much those people are annoying to you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but you get paid regardless. I'm saying most people, or moms in the home, generally moms, but there are men that do it. There are all sorts of people that do this, and it gets nothing. It gets ignored, and like they're not doing anything. And that's why you have people, this is where this idea of men mostly, or women do it too, saying that a woman that stays at home isn't working. It's like, are you insane? Do you know how much work it is to be at home and maintaining the home all the time, and how there's just no gratitude, there's no money for it? You get nothing. You are considered invisible almost, unless you screw up.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's an epidemic in the world. And
so let's do better. It's something that's being pointed out to me by my own subconscious. It's coming to the surface. So this is not about, once again, I'm going to say it one more time, it is not about me getting praise. It's about raising people and becoming more aware ourselves of the work that goes on behind the scenes that nobody notices. So maybe we all become more aware of the things you do, things I do, things the kids do. Like we do it with the kids when they start to like make shifts. We have a son that is starting to make shifts into becoming less of a man child and more of a man, right? He's starting to like take more responsibility. That's what we're working on. So we notice every little thing and we kind of praise him for it, right? It's the same thing. It's just like I notice what you do and I appreciate it. That's what I'm wanting my children to learn. And I think that you could help teach them that better than maybe I could.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this fits. I know you're probably getting frustrated because we're off topic, but we're not off topic. I think this fits with Thanksgiving. It's appreciating those who do invisible labor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Appreciating the stuff the people who clean the outhouses. You know how terrible that job is? There's no way they get paid enough to do what they're doing. That's disgusting work. And they do it. And we only notice. I'm not perfect at noticing invisible labor. I want to notice it more. Maybe that's why it's coming to my mind too, is to be more aware of all of that labor that goes into everyday life to make it comfortable for the most of us. And we only notice when it goes wrong because we're kind of got this cognitive bias going on, confirmation bias, like it's messy. Then we're looking for every mess. You know what I'm saying? Instead of like noticing where there's not a mess, that it's clean, that it was pleasant. Okay, I'll stop.
Why? I mean, you're on one here, so. What?
Nothing.
What? No, you're.
Nothing.
You're
Okay,
expressing your viewpoints on how you feel.
This is going to become like reality TV. If you
well, this is reality TV.
When you're like, you're on one, that irritates me. I don't like that. But I know you didn't mean it the way I'm hearing it.
Yeah, I'm just saying you're on a roll here. Why stop?
Because I'm done. I've made my point. It's clear. I don't want to keep beating a dead horse, okay? I think you get I think the information has been passed along. I know there are people that will agree with me, that understand what I'm saying clearly. And if there's men listening or women listening or whoever listening who hears is the person that's doing the invisible labor, you're appreciated. Appreciate, I know a lot of the times we do it, we're not looking for anything. We just want it to be comfortable for everybody because that's how we think. But know that you're appreciated and do ask for people to learn. It's good, I think, to teach your children to notice that stuff, because then they will go out in the world and they won't be like these elites who don't notice all the people that make their lives possible. There, I'm done. I'm off my soapbox.
All right. What else we got to talk about for things?
Now just go into your subject that you want to talk about. No more get to know you. We already got to know. We showed we don't have to stay so rigid with your little formula. Okay. We went off script. It's all right, Dan.
I know. No, it's good. That's the format. I'm all right. I think you're worried about something I'm not worried about.
Okay. Well,
So, yeah, it's all good.
Okay, so let's keep going.
So, yeah, we'll skip the game so we're not in. We've run out of time for that. But, so, yeah, there's been a few things on Candy's mind lately, as you can see. Some work we've been doing with ourselves and growth and trying to figure out things. And one of them has been directly related to this holiday festivities coming up. Dealing with family situations and everything else, because obviously, if you guys have been following our story at all over the last 10 years, family hasn't been the strongest bond of anything. There's been some wedges put
extended. We're talking about extended family.
Yeah. So we have that going on, and a few recent events have really caused some things it just exposed some personalities and traits that we didn't recognize at first that were toxic, for lack of a better term, that we needed to set these firm boundaries in other areas and stuff like that, which has we come into this season of the year where now all of a sudden the guilt and the shame gets put out because we want to have family together and put on this happy face and enjoy all the things that we have to offer together and recount what is good in our lives. And I mean, we have a kind of a dichotomy going beyond, because we can go to one set of extended family, and that's how it's always been. Pretend. So we know we can pretend and stay here on the top, not get deep, go here.
Right. Pretend, you mean it's just very surface level.
Yeah.
We don't talk about anything of value, really. We just talk about,
Yeah.
we either just laugh and joke. I mean, it can be a pleasant time. It can be uncomfortable at times too. And there's an elephant in the room that just nobody will talk about. But it can just, it just is what it is. We've always known it that way. Yeah.
So we got that going on one side, and the other side was always thought to be this more involved, deep, but come to find out, it really was only deep in one area of things. Very much tied to religion and everything else. And once we pulled out of that, we saw that everything else was kind of neglected or non-existent. There wasn't much other deepness going on. Everything was bound to this belief system.
Like everything that made you of value to these relationships was based in your relationship to the religion.
Yes. So your worth, the value of your relationship with these individuals was based on your value of your relationship with Jesus. Mm-hmm. And once you didn't have that, then there was no depth anymore to you. We can't go deep with you anymore because everything has to tie back to this. Everything's centered on this. And it's like, well, there's other things in life we can talk about and deal with. And in that mindset, which we were in, was, well, that's all tied back to Jesus. So he's the answer for everything. So we got it. And it's like, no, he's the answer for some of the things. And your interpretation of him is the answer to none of the things. But if you were to step out of that and see what really was being taught, you could say there's a lot of answers there for a lot of things in life, but not all the answers either. So it's put a lot of stress and made us, and I'm not sure where this is going to go, and I'm going to let you kind of take the wheel here and see where we go on this journey for 20 minutes. But it's done a lot of self-reflection because
when I took the wheel for a little bit.
It's this guilt and shame that's automatically put on us because now we look like the assholes because we're saying, no, it's not for us. Mm-hmm. Because there's tension with these individuals and there's tension with these individuals for a different situation altogether that they caused in here. And there's tension between this here because this is where the conversation is going to go, and it's not where I want to take a conversation. I don't want to talk about this with you.
And I think, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. No.
Well, I was going to say it's not just tension. I think the biggest thing that keeps me from even wanting to go is there's distrust because of things that have happened and that everybody doesn't know about, but we know about.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of, like, I don't want to be in a room where I know there is no trust for some people that would want to know things that are going on in our lives or our families. And I don't want to be on high alert. I would be in fight flight the entire time. And that is just high anxiety. It would not be pleasant. And why do I want to bring that to them too? They're having a party, a get together. I want them to have a good time. So me not going is a benefit to them. It's a benefit to me physically and mentally. And it's a benefit to them whether they realize it or not. But we do look like we're not we look less loving. Maybe it looks less loving
Yeah.
to go, but I think it's more loving to the relationships because it kind of preserves some relationship possibilities. I don't think it would be a good idea to go. I think it would be worse for everyone. That's my
Yeah.
opinion, and I have to follow my own.
And that's, you kind of did the whole journey there in 2 seconds because it was, we saw it because you were kind of distressed there for a little bit because, one, I think you were looking back and saying this because there's this whole pressure on. And I think a lot of individuals suffer with this, especially people that deconstructed and now they're going back to the religious family for the holidays, of this imagery of family that's supposed to get together and have this great merry time together and recount.
And maybe they've had it in the past.
Yeah.
So you have that image, of something that you have experienced.
So when we were working through this, you kept saying, I missed the times because this was the only time we used to have a meal together. This is the only time of the year we sat down and had a meal.
That was, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it kind of clicked with me there. And I said it to you. I says, you're missing the nostalgia, the memories of everything that don't currently exist. The situation today is not going to be that nostalgic memory to you 30 years ago, where it was, we're all just kids, we're all getting together, there's no care and concern in our lives other than this, and now we're actually having something other than white beans and, and this. Yeah, I see it stirring up some stuff for you here. But this is going to be the most emotional podcast we had to date. But you were missing that nostalgia of what was beforehand.
Yeah.
Before you had your eyes opened and saw what was really existing in life, the false teachings that were given to you. When you
it's sorry to interrupt you, but it's not like it's so much the false teaching. It's the false, and part of it's a story I'm telling myself is that I was of no value.
Oh, we're tying it back into the beginning of the episode now. Huh?
Yeah, maybe there's some triggering there. I don't know. But it was like I was no value unless I believed like them. Unless I accept their viewpoint of the world, I have no value.
And that's another thing we were working through. Because you had the nostalgia that you were focusing on and feeling, because that's what comes back at this time of year. It's like, oh, remember, even think of the questions that I ask at the beginning to get to know you in the games is look back on this and what was your memories of this? Because we like to live in that past and we don't look at a lot of the shitty stuff in the past. We look at the good things a lot of time. Yeah, we do look at shitty things here and there, but
but I have so few fond memories.
Yeah.
And those are big ones. And
these are your big ones of the family getting together. And that's just not what it is right now because you've grown up. You've matured. You're not a child anymore. You see the world as an adult and you see the world for what it is and you can't pretend that anymore. And you've seen characteristics and personalities play out that you would have not understood back when you were a child that you see now. So it's different. So you're missing that nostalgia, and that's where the shame and guilt, I think, is coming from, because you think if we go back, it's just going to be just like that again. But it's not, because of all these personalities that and the way people act
fake.
and treat.
It was based in something that wasn't genuine.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't. I was never, and I'm not just saying me. None of the kids we weren't loved unconditionally. We didn't have that safety to be curious about who we are and discover ourselves. That just because of the religion, it doesn't allow for that.
Yeah.
The religion tells you who you are, and it tells you that you're basically garbage, unworthy, and you need this being to cover up all your ugliness, and so believing that I fit in, I felt like I fit. And then
Yeah.
as I got older, I realized I didn't. And yeah, you're right. I'm grieving. Also. I mean, there was fights at holidays sometimes. It wasn't perfect, but it was a closeness that I didn't really get to experience day to day. And also, um, it it's a fantasy really in my head. It's
Yeah.
it's really built into a
And if you
I'm
were to
grieving a
look,
fantasy in a
yeah,
way.
if you were to look at your past as a whole, you're looking at these events, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter. And this is when everyone came together and put their best foot forward for the family,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Everything. And it was in and of that, when you do that, it's all fake. It's, hey, all right, let's do this. But 360 days of the year outside of these special 5 days, you're not focusing on what the family was like. You know, the torture your brothers put you through. You know, the fights you had with your sisters where you're getting kicked or scratched or bit or whatever. Each one did.
Or I'm also scratching.
Yeah.
I was a hair puller. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're neglecting all that stuff and you're just focusing on this time where everyone put their best foot forward.
Yeah.
And you're hoping
You're
that's
right.
where it's going to be, but it's not going to be there because there's been too much shit that's happened
Yeah.
over the last 10 years right now. That's
Basically,
elephants in the room that are very present and very about. And when we can sit back and look at it from afar and say, yeah, we are going to trigger a lot of this stuff. So if we subtract ourselves, we're going to allow them to have a better time,
yeah.
to free themselves up a little bit, to have a little less. They aren't going to be as conscientious about what they say or how they act or what they do because they're not worried about what we're going to say or see or do or anything on that. So we're doing something that is kind and beneficial by allowing them to be more free in the environment because we would cause some troubles, just our presence being there, because then there's other worries and stuff that have to go on.
I mean, I know that my mom wants us there, would like all of her kids to be there, right? She didn't seem sad about me not going, but I know like there's another person in the family that's not going, and they have good reasons, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And she was more upset about that one.
Yeah.
Because my mom has just a different relationship. But I think that, yes, we're doing something good and loving for them, which I can wrap my mind around. And I can wrap my mind around that I'm doing something loving and kind for me, but that's new. To be like, it's okay to do what you have to do for you, too.
Well, and that goes to the old people pleaser part of you, because you always used to give, nope, the family needs this, so I'm going to do it for the family at whatever detriment it would be to my own personal life.
Yeah.
And now you're flipping that on itself. And that's part of where the value goes too, because you always said the value was never there for you. Well, you had value to your family. The problem is that you recognized, I don't want to be that value. This is where they're pigeonholing me into. I'm in this.
Yes.
And a lot of times it was, you were the planner. You were the center point. So when all these events came together, you would be the one that would have to bring it up beforehand. You were the one that would have to send out the invite list, set up the times, set up the schedule. You know, me and you were working in company together. Just, all right, here it is. They're going to bring this. They're going to bring this. They're going to bring this.
That was, to be fair, that was, a lot of that was you.
Yeah.
I was more, back to the beginning, the cleaning, creating the environment.
Yeah.
You were creating the meal.
Can you just let this go?
No.
All right, we've discussed this. You said you were done.
This could be a conversation.
Let it die. It's over.
No. but it's also that I played that role of providing the place and making it comfortable.
Yeah.
Because that's something that is important to me.
We had our rules that me and you fit into. You were providing the environment. So you were cleaning, decorating, and that was a hell week.
Yeah.
Month.
And the ambiance, like I would go all out too. I would do a lot of homemade, like it was overboard and over the top. And I liked it because I like that kind of stuff. I
Yeah.
enjoy it if I have time. But yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah.
But I was also had this role in the family of the peacekeeper,
Yeah.
like make peace. Like when people are fighting, a lot of times it would be me that would just try to like bring some sort of semblance of like getting people to work things out. And now I'm the bad guy in a lot of situations because of the belief system
Yeah.
changing or the beliefs changing. And now I think it's not just I'm not there, it's they consider me kind of like evil or wrong for not being
Uh-huh.
there. So I guess in some ways it's playing against a program that said I am bad, and there's a struggle inside me for that. Like
Yeah.
it seems wrong. It does seem wrong to not
Well,
go.
it's because you started redefining your own value. This is where I'm valuable at. It's not where you guys want to pigeonhole me in. I'm not going to be this place, you know. And it was one of them things where we were like, yeah, we're always providing this place. We were the one. No one would bring up Thanksgiving. No one would bring up
No, and there was people
Easter
with bigger houses, bigger, like
until you finally put a message. Maybe someone would be like, hey, what's the plan? And then we'd have to set it all up. All right, be here at 3. You're bringing this. You're doing that. We're doing, get everything ready and going. And yeah, everything
and then when
was
we stopped
figured.
saying we were going to do that all the time,
Yeah.
now there's been there have been family members that keep spouting this information that like you guys don't do anything together. You basically like we've ruined it, that we're to blame because we haven't gotten together as much. And that's just, it's cruel. I feel
Yeah.
like it's cruel, but at the same time, I'm struggling with the feelings that it's wrong to not go to these things. And I'm not doing it because that I don't love them. I do love them. And our value is not based in what we do. Like your value in a family is just you're part of that family, period.
Mm-hmm.
It's not based in what you do or what you can provide for them.
Yeah.
That's not your value. Your value is you were born into that family. So you're a valuable piece of it, regardless of how you're acting in the moment. But that's not how my family works. And
yeah. And
I've
you
just
stepped
got
out
to
of the
accept it. I've
you
just got to
stepped out
accept
of
it.
the
But it's
role
painful.
that
I'm
they
sure a
had
lot of
for you,
people can
and they don't
relate.
like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they don't like that anymore, and that's been a big problem. And it's like, well, I'm sorry, that's not who I want to be. It was exhausting, and it was exhausting for everything that you had to do for that. And then going back, I'm going to bring it back to the beginning of the episode, the cleanup afterwards.
Yeah. Nobody thinking about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, maybe a sister or two would help with dishes and everything, but
Yeah.
there
was
was
individuals that would stay and help. There were certain people that would stay and help, or at least and even notice all the work that went into it. There are people that notice invisible labor. I'm not saying there aren't, but or even the cooking and all the work it took. Sometimes I would say to you, like you're doing so much work and they're just going to shove it in their mouths. They're not even going to realize that they're getting like gourmet food. They're just going to shovel it in their mouths and don't stress about it, because I also know my family. But yeah, you're right.
So there was a lot of that, but there, and it's not to say that they wouldn't help at all. Like I said, they'd do dishes and help, clean up and package food. And it's like, oh, I'm going to take, it's like, okay.
If they're taking it, then they help package.
Yeah.
If they're going to take some.
And then you look up and you're like, there's nothing left over for us, but okay, that's fine. No, I'm just kidding. There'd always be something left for us. But they didn't realize all the other stuff that would go, where the kids would go off and we'd have walls that had marker written all over them, or toys or play equipment or stuff like that that had been broken as the cousins were getting a little rough with the stuff, and you're going through and okay.
It's kind of to be expected. Not the marker on the walls. That was a little more than I planned on, but yeah.
But it was stuff we never mentioned or anything like that. We just absorbed the cost of it. It's like, okay, we got to fix this. All right, that's broken. We'll never be able to play with that again. That's beyond repair, or, okay, this isn't working anymore, or whatever. There's always stuff afterwards that never got noticed of what was going on. And it became a lot.
But if someone had it at their house and one thing got broken, oh, I'm never doing it again because something got broken. It's like, do you know that or like just blaming, we've had our kids blamed when they didn't do it.
Yeah.
And there have been times our kids did do it, and then you take responsibility for it and you make the child take responsibility for it. But we've had people who you have accused our kids of things that they didn't do, that actually was found out later that it was
something else.
You know what I'm talking about. Yes, something else. And then we've also had people be like, whining about things broken when their children have caused really big damage in our house and never known. Like we're not the type of people. Yeah, we share this stuff on this podcast. I don't know if we have any family that listens to this podcast anyways. So I think we're kind of safe there at least. But if they do, they can call us out on it. Like if there's there's a lot of things that we just because we're not about shaming people. We want kids to get together. We always wanted to have the things. We liked having them at our house. We liked providing that space until we weren't accepted anymore because of our beliefs, where we were treated very differently because of it. Then why do it?
And the truth of the matter is we still did it because we deconstructed
we did
in
for a long time
2012.
after. Yeah.
And it was until COVID gave us that convenient out of, well, no, because we had lockdowns at that time. We were going to have it, but then the city government in our town was like, nope, no family gatherings, blah, blah, blah.
So we decided to respect that. We didn't want people getting sick. We have elderly parents.
We got drugged through the dirt on that by some individuals.
Yeah, we got trashed for that.
No one needs to know. It's like, well, no, there's 8 of you kids in your family. It's like if we have 15 cars outside of our house, people are going to know.
Yeah. And there's like, when we all get together, it's like 40, 50 people. It ain't small.
Yeah.
So it's a big gathering of people. And we were like, no, we will protect everybody, because nobody knew exactly how bad it could get. We didn't want to be responsible for that. So
that was the convenient out that year. And then it started, it was one of them things where just like everything else in deconstruction, you started realizing stuff. You're like, there's a lot that goes into this. And it's just kind of expected now.
And we were if we hadn't have been trash talked behind the scenes, we were hearing about people saying things like it's our fault. Like that was when I was like, no, we have put on these things. We're the only one that's doing it regularly. There was people taking turns,
for a couple of years, and then they dropped
for some things. Yeah. But it's like, and I get why they dropped it because it is a lot of work. But we were the ones that actually enjoyed it. A lot of it we did. Yeah. But there was a lot that went into it that just was unappreciated.
We still put on events all the time.
Yeah.
And sometimes they show, sometimes they don't.
It's not mostly for family anymore. It's our chosen family, I think I would say, rather than biological necessarily.
So it wasn't about putting on events because we enjoy doing that. It was just, we weren't being disrespected. We realized we were being taken advantage of a little bit.
Okay. So hear how this wraps back to the beginning?
I know.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about.
That is what I'm talking about.
I don't mean it that way. I mean like that's, and it's making me think where I haven't appreciated. Like I think about, your parents do a Christmas Eve big thing every year. Still your dad's in his 80s. And I think it makes
80.
me, 80. And it makes me more aware. And I need to make sure that I voice that, not just show it. They need to hear it. They need to hear, like, I really appreciate how much work you guys put into this. This is not, yes, they've done it for years and it still takes a lot of work. It's a lot of planning and it's a lot of their energy and they're old. So it's like, that takes more energy than it would for someone our age. So that needs to be said. I guess the point of this whole podcast is speak your appreciation more often to others. And also, if you are being taken advantage of, or if you are doing things and you're not getting the appreciation that you need, because you don't need to feel, I think in Christianity, whenever I would feel that, because there was times like I was doing all the cleaning, all the cooking, all the planning, homeschooling, I was doing everything basically, because you were working so much. I would start to feel resentful. And then instead of being curious about that resentment or what I was feeling, where I was feeling like I just that unsettled feeling, I would judge myself and say, you're not being a very good Christian, basically. Like, stop it. You instead, this time I'm starting to feel it. And instead of judging it, I'm like, what is going on? Why am I feeling this way right now? Like, what is causing this disturb? Am I being, because you need to be able to recognize, am I being taken kind of advantage of?
Mm-hmm.
Like, are the kids kind of treating me like a slave that walks around the house and picks up after them, or a, housekeeper? Maybe that is true, and you have to have communication. Really, that's part of it, right? So you need
Yeah.
to think about what you're doing and notice what others are doing. And that's really what I think I want to take away from this Thanksgiving is appreciation for others, and also speaking up when I feel like I'm becoming invisible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I get it. So well put. So
all
happy
right.
Thanksgiving, everybody. This is the festive, happy holiday you
I
ever
don't think this
wanted.
was a bad podcast at
It
all. I
wasn't.
think this was
Yeah,
it's relatable for sure.
it
We
is.
don't need to
So,
do, there's dime a dozen podcasts out there. Happy Thanksgiving. It's so great. Well, let's talk about the real stuff. And this
yeah,
was real. So
yeah. And it's
the messy
just
middle.
kind of dealing with what a lot of people struggle with, the guilt and
Yeah.
shame of not showing up, because there is some of that you have to fight through, and there's reasons for it. What are you missing? And just realizing your value, and that's all right. You have value. And that's a completely foreign thought to people from the Christian perspective,
Yeah.
because in that you had zero value. Your value was determined by the system, which meant that your value was going to be determined by your parents, your brothers and sisters, and everyone else around you. You just had to accept that. So being this idea of you got your own value, that's completely foreign and new concept that they don't understand and don't
Well,
like,
yeah,
and it
you have
scares them.
intrinsic value.
Yeah.
You are valuable just because you are. You exist, right? And you bring something to the table, and there should be energetic exchanges of those things. That doesn't always mean monetary. It means, like someone just showing appreciation or saying appreciative things, or picking up after themselves, or staying after the party and helping. Like
Yeah.
if you're the one that's putting everything on and planning everything and doing all the work and you're exhausted at the end, it's time to reevaluate. That's all. It's time to reevaluate.
So, all right. Well, we'll go ahead and close out here. If you're on YouTube, right there. YouTube, like, listen, and follow. We'd appreciate that greatly. If you got a moment, give us a comment. We'd appreciate that also. And you can be like, wow, you guys rock. You guys are the greatest. We're so thankful for all you do on this.
Or they can be like, Candi, you're full of shit, and you need to stop bugging Dan about this thing.
No,
or Dan's full of shit,
no,
which I would agree
have
with
to
you.
do that. You don't have to do that. No,
Stop.
not at all. Not at all.
Stop it.
So go up there and do that. We'd appreciate that. If you're listening on a podcast streamer, give us 5 stars. And if you got a moment, leave us a comment there too. We'd love to hear from you. But 5 stars helps out, gets us moving, pushing out. Biggest thing you do is just tell other people about us. Just mention, hey, listen to this podcast. It was pretty good. Pick out your favorite one, let them listen to it. It'll say more about you than it does them.
Well, I don't know what that means, but okay.
Go down below in the descriptions. We got all the links for our stuff, dannycan.com, a couple other links that are broken out from dannycan.com, things we're doing and all that. So go check that out. Get involved in some of the other things that we're doing here, the whatnot and all that. But other than that, have yourself happy Thanksgiving, you filthy rats.
You filthy animal.
So
It's not rats, is it?
Yeah, it's animal. Yeah, I couldn't remember the line. Thank you for helping me there. But yeah, you're going to deal with family. Deal with them however you want. And it's understandable if you have some shame or guilt or regrets. That's based on something that was programmed into you. And
stay curious about it rather than judge it.
Yeah. Don't judge it. Don't make it who you are or what you are. Just be curious and explore it and see why you're feeling that way. Because you have a reason and you have the right to protect yourself. And sometimes the more loving thing is to not attend, because you're not going to cause the chaos that might ensue.
Yeah. And you're not going to make relationships necessarily worse. I mean, there might be situations where that might be the case and you have to weigh out what you need to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes that can be preserving a relationship or what little relationship there might be at the time. And that's okay.
Yeah.
But I think we showed you at the very beginning just how you do that when you stay curious. That was me just staying curious with them having these feelings. I don't know why, that's what you do. And then you explore it.
We got to take that
and
curiosity.
hopefully you
away
have
from
someone
her.
who doesn't just go, okay, well, you're on one now.
So curiosity is a bad thing in any relationship, folks. That's what we're saying.
No, it's not. Oh, gosh.
Just kidding.
Ending the podcast now. Love you. Bye.
Okay. I'm not ending it. I need to be safe. I'm only safe when I'm on camera.
Wait, wrong side.
Yeah, you can't reach around. I can reach.
I need your Michael Myers. What? How are you able to do that? Okay. People who are listening cannot see what we're doing.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Anyways,
enjoy the parade.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Eat some turkey.
Bye.
Bye.
We're thankful for you. Bye.
Yes, we are. Thank you. Bye.